On this episode, we're going to go through some of the finer points, pains, and joys of installing the large metal stands on our speaker cabinets. You will want to put the speaker upside down on a piece of your packaging material like this one shown here. You're going to have to assemble this to the bots with this stand fully assembled. So I'm showing the picture of it here. It's no big mystery, but that's how you would do it. I'm going to show you some tricks now to how I would put that on the bots. But I have two choices. It's either disassemble that stand and show it all together or just do it with the top plate. I am just simply going to put the top plate on this bots. Now, on this particular bots, if the rubber feet were installed to mount it on a shelf or a TV stand or something, they would be in this position. And the plate for the stand would not quite clear all of them at the same time. So when you're going to use the stand, we're going to take those off with the screwdriver. We're using screws. The screws we're using are the same as the speaker mounting screws. I'm going to send plenty of these with you. Don't know if this will show up, but they have a round head here. They're a wood screw with a round head and a flat inside. That's called a pan head. And they're kind of hard to find locally. I can't find them locally here unless I get an ugly color like a silver that shines. I can't get them in a nice black here, so we have to order those from our hardware supplier. And so I'll send extra ones. And you would just put them in like you would any screw. That's no big secret. But here on the plate, there is a couple of tricks I'm going to talk about. First of all, these T-shanks, I wish I had left one out to photograph it, but I don't have any more. We drill a hole and screw the T-shank down with an Allen wrench into the hole until it's snug. Now, these speakers were already built before I drilled that, so I was not able to put these bottom plates in the drill press and drill them exactly vertically like I would if I were assembling these speakers for this. So I did it with a hand drill. There's two problems with that. Nobody can hold a hand drill at perfect 90 degrees in 3 dimensions. And I certainly can't. And the other one is that these T-shanks will never go in perfectly straight. So all these are going to be a little bit skewed to their own direction. So we're going to play with them to get everything installed straight as we go. One of the tricks I'm going to use here is we're going to put a washer on the bolt with each one of these holes. We'll do that real quick. I guess I could have had that done already. Then we're going to talk about the feet for a minute. These stands often come with some neoprene. I'll just call them rubber feet, for lack of a better term, with them. And you can make a judgment while you're putting these together as to, make sure that's in the picture. Oh shoot, I'm not putting this in the picture. Anyhow, make a judgment as to whether or not you want to use the rubber washers that come with it or rubber feet. I can send extras of those. But what I'm doing here is I'm putting in the bolts, the 1/4 inch 20 thread bolts, into the holes I've drilled in the plate. They don't drop quite in. I drill the holes a little bit tight so they'll go in and be a very good fit. Now, the rubber feet that I'm going to send will go on to these bolts, but they won't just drop on. They have to be turned on like you were turning a nut. Well, I can't see what I'm showing you, but the double ring here is the side that normally goes down. You notice there's a metal washer inside them. We're going to put them with the double ring facing, we're going to put them facing the speaker. And the flat side, that's to the metal plate here for the stand. We're going to screw them on. And in the process, they're going to kind of hold everything together for us, and that will help. Do that 4 times. I've not got the little YouTube feature here that zooms everything, so we just screw them down as however long it takes. I better do them one at a time because I'm resting them on the speaker's bottom. that. Like you're bolting them down a little bit. On top of this one. I don't believe it really matters which way these rubber feet go, just as long as they're all four the same. We're going to tighten it down and compress them just a little bit, not a lot. These things, like the speaker drivers themselves, they don't require torque. They do just require to be snug and then a little bit more. It's not a car part or anything. Just make them secure and just a little bit more. Okay, these things are together. So, the two holes go to the front. Now, I should have mentioned, the countersinks on these are where they'll be going into the stand. The bolts for the stands will go into there, and this will be facing down towards the speaker, and you'll have the whole tower assembly that I showed at the beginning standing up here that you're going to have to teeter with, so you'll probably want this on the floor, and you might want an extra set of hands helping you. Okay, we're going to line up these bolts over the T-shanks, and you're going to notice that none of them are absolutely perfectly straight. That's because of what I already mentioned. But they'll all line up to the shafts. And we're just going to turn them down a little bit at a time, a couple of turns, and go around it evenly. If you try to take one all the way down, it will get cockeyed and won't fit right. So we just do it like so until we get them all the way down. The socket would be better, faster. That's why I'm using the open end, because I want to slow myself down here. I don't want to take too many turns at once. I want to go all the way around them and do it fairly evenly. And you'll hear some popping as everything gets compressed here. Now this is going to be, you might rather do this with a ratchet because you're going to have the post up here in the middle. So I'll kind of model that instead of going all the way around in a circle, because I won't be able to make a circle. It occurred to me the post will be here when you're doing this. Back here, do a little more. That one's getting a little bit behind, so we'll try to catch it up. The popping's it's slipping down over that metal washer in the foot. And that will continue until they're all the way down. Yeah, I went ahead and cheated. I pretended the posts weren't there. You're going to be doing this with a post in your way. So it'll take a bit longer. I'll move the tripod to where you can see these compressing. We'll pause the video for a minute and lower the tripod. Okay, we're back on with the tripod, but this being all black, I don't believe I'm going to show much about the rubber feet compressing. I don't think it will show up. So all we're going to do is keep turning these until they're all down. Some of them are taking longer than others. But one thing to take note of as you do this is you want the speaker stands to be perpendicular to the floor and the speakers. And the way this works, whether you're using the neoprene washers that come with the stands, or should come with them, or these feet, you can use this process to adjust the plate so that the stand will be more vertical to the speaker. And that was the thing I would talk about most here. The hardware store didn't have the black hardware. The other stand, I had Allen wrenches in it, and I really didn't like using those. The Allen wrenches aren't as big, so I just got something here you could use with a socket or with a open end. course, I'm using a combination wrench with a box end on it, but that's okay. But anyhow, you get the idea here. I'm going to try to get a better picture in there. If you get those feet looking about like that, just a little bit, maybe a little bit flattened out, about like that, so they're good and firm, and hold the stand level, you've got it. That's a very good connection right there, and they will not, that won't give way, that will hold. While I've got the speaker here, I want to go around and show some issues on the cup. This was the speaker that had been wall mounted. So I filled all of the holes where it had been wall mounted with extra speaker screws. So I guess if you need some extra speaker screws, help yourself to these. They perform no function at all. There's not going to be any air leakage out of there that matters. Not with a 2-inch port in this smaller cabinet. So I hope, yeah, the terminals show up here. Your banana plug wires will go in right here. They'll go in the top. If you ever want to use it with bare wires, yeah, that's showing up. Remember the white wires on this one, so make sure when you connect to an amp, you've got the positive from the amp or the red terminal going to the red on this. Feels silly telling somebody buying these speakers that anyone would know that, but somebody's going to see this that forgets something, so I'm going to help them out because I forget things all the time. But you know, just snug them up like we did the ones on the